Okay, so we finished making our drum drop using step input. Now we need to take these tracks that have different lengths and make the lengths correct. So let's do that here. Oftentimes when you have a track, you'll have some sounds, and let's listen to those. I've soloed them drums match and clav match. So I have this drum beat, and then I have this clavinova sound here, and they're not the same speed. So I need to make them the same speed. And a really quick, nice way to do it in here is if you just go to the track you want to the right side of it, and hold down, as soon as you get this little dragger, hold down Option. Oops. And it turns into this clock thingy. Click and drag. When you do that, it'll make the whole track the right length for you. Let's do that for the next one as well. Go to the side, hit Option, and drag this. Makes all the different lengths the same, conforms them to be the right amount of measures. Nice, everything sounds good. So, cool. Let's zoom so this whole loop fits the entire timeline. Now we can just have our whole screen fill up with that loop, because that's the longest thing we have anyway. Cool, so we have that fixed. Let's see what's next. We made them the same length by conforming them. Now we need to create a legato passage out of the strings that aren't legato. They're called détaché. So we need to see what that is in the first place. Let's go back there and let's listen to the strings patch. Here's the strings. Let's go back to the beginning. So what you see here is these ends of the notes. They never finally get to the beginnings of the next ones. There's like a gap there, and that gap makes it so it doesn't sound smooth when they move from one chord to another. So what we can do is we can change that so that they overlap a little bit and there's no break in the sound. So go inside of there, select all the notes, select all, which will be Control A or Apple A. And then what we want to do is we want to go into where it says length here and click on legato. Legato is a term that means make it smooth, and it makes it so these things overlap. So we're going to hit that. And now they should be just long enough so they sound smoother. Let's listen to it. So that's pretty good. I still may want to do something else. It says overlap here for legato. I want to make a little bit of overlap in them so that they kind of bleed over each other and don't just right away stop. So you saw how they got a little bit longer in there. Let's listen to that. Cool. I also want these ones here to be longer. They really should be like all the way to the end of this thing, since they're really supposed to be the same length for this chord. So I said have the chord ends overlap with the beginnings. Chord notes should all last the entire length. So we can do something else too. We can select all these and we can say that what we want is we want to make their ends all the same. We can say quantize end. Oops, that didn't work exactly how I wanted. Okay, if we want these to be exactly the same length here, we can try that again, quantize end. Well, it's having conflicting results because one thing is trying to make it legato, one's trying to make the ends go to this next grid line. But you get the point here. Now these things overlap, are the right length here, so it sounds smoother. Cool, save that. Let's look what's next. Fix an unquantized melody so all the notes are lined up to the beginning of the grid lines. Okay, so this means the melody we're going to have just isn't quite in time. Oftentimes what happens when someone plays something in on a keyboard, it's not exactly at the right time, so we need to fix that. Also says make the line legato. So let's see that. Let's go back over there. Let's get off our strings and go to the melody to lead and hear that. I'm going to click on it too so I can see it down there. There it is. Okay. Okay, so there's like a lot of space between everything and it's not quite in time. So I'm going to select everything. And some of the notes are kind of fast. I can see that they move. Like if we zoom in here, we can see that they move within the space of one of these grid lines. Let's get back there, sorry. Yeah, right here. So they're pretty fast. They happen each of these little mini grid lines, the smallest ones. And that level of grid line is right here. We can see 16th note size. So that what we need to do then is we need to quantize something to 16th note value, at least to start out. So if we just hit Q then, or if we go to action and quantize, well, it doesn't work perfectly. Some things get screwed up here. So we're going to have to do some individual adjusting probably. These ones really were intent on being somewhere else. Let's try a couple of the longer things and select them and hit Q for quantize. Sorry, hit quantize. Still not working great. These ones probably. So after trying a couple different things, it looks like 8th note works best, except for these notes. These ones were really 16th notes, so we need to actually mess with them separately. Let's change to 16th. This first one would have been here. The second one needed to be a 16th note over. So let's just click it and drag it there and do the same thing for the next one. Finally, over here for the next one. Cool. Now that should be pretty good for everything. Let's give it a shot. So that's correct. The problem is these things are separated, or what's called détaché. They have a lot of space between them. So what we really need to do is we need to make it all smooth legato. So let's select it all again, go to action and length, and then let's go legato. Let's make their overlap kind of small though. Okay, now let's listen to it. Nice, so that's really good. We just need to make the last one longer, but otherwise it's good. Cool. So now we're done with a lot of the stuff there. That sounds much better. Let's hear what it sounds like together, actually, with everything here. Well, coming along. So let's look at the last section then in our next video, which is adding automation and making everything sound the right levels, this type of thing.